after visiting Taiwan, together with colleagues from all parties in the parliament, except the extreme right, we wrote an open letter to the new president, the new government, asking for opening the relations with Taiwan, establishing these offices, recognizing the passports, having a mutual agreement for protecting investments, and so on. The first, and this open letter had a tremendous effect.
新闻硬邦邦听新闻最爽，我是节目主持人思谈，欢迎各位收看。Right now, I'm at the IPAC summit here in Brussels, Belgium, and today have an honor to interview Senator Ghinea from Romania. And Senator would talk to me about recent developments between Romania and Taiwan, and also the China influence issues. But first of all, I would like to ask you, what do you think about today's summit?
Well, it seemed family for me because before going into politics, I was a think tanker, a journalist also. I worked on such issues as human rights, as media freedom. Then I joined the politics 8 years ago. And when I was invited last year to join IPAC, I was so happy because it felt like going back to my initial family, with people, true believers in democracy, in freedom. And it's a familiar surrounding for me. And also I visited Taiwan this year for the first time in my life. I was impressed by their desire to be free. And I think all countries are not equal because there are some democratic countries and there are totalitarian dictatorship countries. And I consider Taiwan to be part of the brotherhood of democratic countries, and for me this is essential. And this is that drives me into this battle, and I'm very happy to be part of IPAC.
What do you think about Taiwan after first time?
Well, I was amazed by their professionalism. It was a 5-day tour for a group of Romanian members of the parliament. Everything was well organized. The professionalism was visible, but besides that, it was that human touch. The idea that we are not alone. Some people around the world care about us, about Taiwan, and I was very happy to provide this assurance that they are not alone, and there are people all over the world that care about democracy, about freedom, and that consider that it's not only a local issue, it's a global issue. And then that global issue, it's a worldwide fight between democracy, between free world and dictatorships. And we have so many things in common. For instance, I was amazed being there to see how the Chinese aggression in terms of information war is so similar with the Russian aggression. They have the same messages. They have the same messages. Basically, nothing is true. Democracy is a lie. Freedom doesn't exist. You are weak. We are strong. We can invade you if we want. Everything is trash in your country.
And also the language thing. Always speak a similar language, so you should be a part of us.
Yeah. So basically, I was listening to the presentation, and I was listening. Wow, this is exactly what they tell us about Romania and about Moldova, because it's a very complex situation there. But Romania and Moldova also with the same language and the same culture, and we should be part of the Russian courtyard. It's amazing how the dictatorships are sending the same messages all over the world.
Yeah. But for Romania and Moldova, like, the language is so different from Russian. It's more Romance languages influenced. It's like the easternmost Romance language, Romanian and Moldovan, these two languages. So they even want to portray them as Slavic, but they're not. And that's actually very similar with Taiwanese, because Taiwanese and Mandarin are not mutually intelligible, but China is put in the narrative. It's like the same sphere of influence, the same group of languages. It should be all considered the same.
And we also have to. It's another point that for a scholar of democratization, which I've been before going into politics. 30 years ago, I was young, but I was reading papers. I was watching TV outlets and so on. It was this idea that an Orthodox country cannot be democratized. It is not compatible with our civilization.
Meaning like Orthodox Christianity.
Orthodox Christianity, yeah. Romania was at the beginning of its road to democracy. Yeah. And this message that, this is a Western, this is a Protestant or Catholic thing, this is not going well in Orthodox countries. Now, 30 years later, we see Romania as a democracy, and not only a democracy, but a prosperous country. Yeah. The way in which Romania was changed by democratization, by liberty, by capitalism in the last 30 years, it's amazing. And I think Taiwan also is the living proof that the Chinese, the Chinese civilization is compatible with democracy. Taiwan as a country, as an experiment, is going into the face of the Communist Chinese Party, saying that we may be an authoritarian regime, but we develop the country. Well, no, not really, because
Taiwan is developing also
much more developed
pretty swiftly.
Yeah. I think this is the reason they are so annoyed by Taiwan. That it is a living experiment showing to the entire world that Chinese people, the Chinese culture, the Chinese civilization is compatible with democracy. As in our case, we are the living proof that the Orthodox civilization is totally compatible with democratization.
Senator, recently there are some good developments between Taiwan and Romania. Taiwanese passports are being recognized by Romania right now. And do you know if there will be maybe a representative office of Taiwan's in Romania? Are you trying to do anything to make relationships closer?
Well, first of all, we have to acknowledge the starting level. The starting level, traditionally, Romania had no relation with Taiwan at all. It is a very stupid, if you ask me, and very inflexible application of one China policy. Because I tell people in Romania, to our officials, to my colleagues in the parliament, look, there is not about one China policy. It's about how we interpret one China policy. Because also the United States, also the European Union, France, Germany, they also have one China policy, but they have huge commercial relations with Taiwan. They have representative office in Taipei. Taipei has a representative office in France, in Paris, in Berlin, and Brussels, by the way. So basically, let's go about this debating about one China policy. This is it's an inheritance from the communist regime, because Ceausescu regime had very good relations with China. It was this idea that both communist regime were anti-Soviets, and they have this alliance. And because democracy wasn't an issue in Romania, it wasn't a public debate about that. The status quo continue as such. Now, after visiting Taiwan, together with colleagues from all parties in the parliament, except the extreme right, we wrote an open letter to the new president, the new government, asking for opening the relations with Taiwan, establishing these offices, recognizing the passports, having a mutual agreement for protecting investments, and so on. And this open letter had a tremendous effect. It was a public debate. There were some very harsh reactions from Chinese embassy and from some
as usual.
and from some people that I consider to be Chinese agents without having the smoking gun there. But otherwise, we also provoke the establishment in Romania to consider how to put it, schizoidical is in some terms, because we like to say that we have a very special partnership with United States. United States and NATO, but United States moreover is the cornerstone for our security. Because honestly speaking, I imagine, like in the case of Poland, we are afraid of Russia, so we hope that Americans will protect us just in case. Okay, so basically the entire cornerstone of our diplomacy is to say that we have a very specific, special partnership with United States. In the same time, we have a very good relationship with China. And many people do not see a contradiction here. But it is a contradiction, because United States needs diplomatic support from its allies all over the world when it comes to tensions in the Taiwan Straits and so on. So basically, what we wanted to confront this old consensus, saying that you can have so good relationship both with United States and with China. Moreover, China is not a very important economic partner for Romania. It seems to be, but it's not. Because first of all, we have a huge commercial deficit. We import 11 times more from China than we export to China.
I think this is a very similar situation to what Lithuania has been encountering with China. When they made,
I think it's a common issue in Europe.
In Europe,
too. But in our case, the numbers are shocking, and in the same time, when it comes about Chinese investment in Romania, they are quite small. We're talking about $300 million, which is peanuts when it comes with Germany. We invest in Romania 20 times more than that. And have in mind that Taiwan is investing in Czech Republic 3 times more than Chinese companies are investing in Romania. So we are not depending on China. If you want, they are depending on us because we import a lot of goods from China. But there is nothing to be afraid when it comes about economic relations with China. And at the same time, the lack of political connections is not encouraging Taiwanese companies to come in Romania, because we have some investments from Taiwan, but it's peanuts when we compare with Czech Republic or with Slovakia, and even with Poland. So at the end of the day, we are losing moral ground in our relationship with the United States, and we are losing money, but not having a more developed connection with Taiwan. And in the same time, for people like me that care about values, about democracy, it's this feeling of not belonging to the right camp, you know.
Yes. We're not having the right friends. We're in a pretty bad company.
This is a family. The Romania was a country, and it is a society that was fractured, that was brutalized by dictatorship. And the new generation of Romanians, we want to be so clear that we belong to this world, that what happened during Ceausescu's regime in Romania, it is not imaginable to us today. And we caring about values in foreign policy, it's important for a part of us.
And a final question: how do you estimate the Chinese influence in Romania?
Well, first of all, the lack of debate created this impression that we have a good relationship. When it comes about true influence, now after we provoke the change and debate, I was a little bit amazed about the reaction. The reaction in terms of people around academia, around some business person, about some media persons, and I have this dilemma whether it is stupidity or it is money. It is Chinese influence, because I don't know, maybe some people from the old establishment can react because this is what they believe. Some people can react like that because they are paid, but we want to clarify this. So basically, I'm on this topic. I'm here to fight for this and to provoke people that are close to China to go in the open and to basically to show what they support. Because look, I support Taiwan. What is Taiwan? Taiwan is a democracy. Okay, Taiwan is in terms of media freedom, for instance, in the national tops, it's above Romania in terms of media freedom. When it comes of transition justice, for instance, which is very important for Romania, because Taiwan, I was impressed in Taiwan, by the way, about their human rights museums, about the way in which Taiwan, democratic Taiwan, is dealing with the
authoritarian past.
Dictatorship. So this is important for a country as Romania. And I want to tell my compatriots, look, I'm on this side, on the side of people that that are rejecting what dictatorship has done. Okay, who do you support? Do you support China? Do you support that country that put in jail 1 million Uyghurs? Let's talk about this.
They basically support the Ceausescu's friends because the regime hasn't changed.
Exactly.
Same people are still in power.
Exactly.
Same party is still in power.
I would be so happy to provoke these debates, to go into light and have this discussion.
Thank you so much, Senator.
Welcome.
Thank you for the interview.